Here's a caricature I did for a customer. It's for somebody's birthday. That's the finished drawing there. I want to walk you through how I got that. I did it using Photoshop CS3. Now this was ordered by a customer. Usually how I would like to draw caricatures is like that, in that cartoony style. But customers who order off me don't usually want that. They usually want it done like this. Like a kind of a good looking cartoon of the person, but not too much of an exaggeration. So that's what we're going to do here. One like this. So the first thing I always do is call up the picture and make a bit of a plan. So there's the reference photo I'm using. So the first thing I can see there is that our eyes are pointing upwards like that. They're higher at the outer corner than the inner corner, like that. That's not the same in every picture, so you might sometimes you see eyes sloped like that, but in this case it's that way, so we're going to make a note of that. The next thing I can see, hold on, get rid of those. Next thing I see is that the mouth is curling a little bit more on one side. It's subtle, but worth noticing because those small things can help with the likeness. And I can see that the distance at the top there is noticeably narrower than the distance there. So this face will be drawn in, I'll show you the shape now, like this. That'll be the shape of the face. So you've got the slope of the eyes, the curl of the mouth, and the width of the forehead and of the cheeks. And with that we can go ahead and start drawing. I'm starting here with the nose, as I often do. Now, the thing you could do if you are just starting out, or if you can't get a likeness, is you could use a grid. I'm not doing it here, but I'll show you. You can turn on the grid in most of these drawing software packages, and when you're using a grid, you just open the pictures like that, and then you use the squares, reference, copy from one side what's in each square. If you see what I mean, I'm not saying it very well. It'll take you much longer to do the face this way than to do it freehand, but you will almost certainly get some kind of a likeness if you do it carefully. But we're not doing that in this case because I know how to draw this face, so I don't need to use a grid. So this video is speeded up. It probably took me about 20 minutes to do the face in total. A good thing about digital drawing is you can, if you draw an eye accurately, you can copy it and flip it and paste it, so you have two identical eyes. That's useful. You see here that the smile is done bigger than the smile in real life. You can almost always do that. I've never had a customer say, no, her smile is not that big. You can almost always get away with a bigger smile. So I like actually get the whole thing done in black and white before we start putting down proper lines. So you see here, all I'm really doing is I'm just trying to copy the picture loosely, and then I'm using cut and paste to move the features around till I can see that face in the cartoon. If I was doing this on paper, I'd have to be rubbing out and redrawn, but because it's done digitally, it's a bit easier. So a large portion of me drawing a face like this is experimentation. So now that I'm happy with the face there, I see I've started with the darker lines. I put a new layer in Photoshop and I start adding darker lines. I use a macro then to smooth the lines out, but I think more modern software, you don't even need to do that. And I have a palette saved with the skin tones and lip colours and hair colours. That's because when people order more than one picture from me, I want the skin tones to be consistent if they're going to hang two of them in their house. For teeth like that, just count the teeth in the picture and just make those little gum marks. That's what I do. The eyes I've pre-drawn, so I don't draw them for every picture. I just cut and paste again. Colouring in the hair there. And the skin tones, I use the same tone as I use for the lip to put the redness into the face. There. And then some whites. So I think that's a good face. I was happy enough with that. And so there I sent it to the customer to get her feedback. It sounds like she likes it. And so the next video is doing the body.